Hello, you guys. So today we're going to be talking about the iBUYPOWER. It's actually a rig I got from Savers. I ended up picking up for $20. So we're going to check it out. And they sold it as assorted electronics, $20 right at Savers. This is just the front plate, but I will say it didn't come with the graphics card. It didn't have RAM. It didn't have a hard drive. So we're just hoping that, as you see on this website here, this is pretty much exactly the one I would have received, I believe. So we're just hoping that the processor is in there and not just kind of the heatsink's just on it. Hopefully he didn't swap it out with or whoever owned it didn't swap it out with like an i3. It didn't come with RAM or the hard drive, so we're gonna put in a hard drive. We got some RAM to install. We're gonna be doing that. Let's check out a few more things. It's currently out of stock. I believe when they were actually selling this, it was probably going for around 450, 500, I believe. This would have been a pretty decent build back in 2017, I believe, 2018. But as you can see, we're gonna look through here a little bit. Um, like I said, it would have had 8 gigabytes of DDR4. This one would have came with the 1060 GTX 1060 3 gigabyte. I do have a 1080 Ti. We're gonna try it. We'll put it in there and see what it does. I'm not 100% sure that 1080 Ti is in good condition, so that we're gonna check. We'll do some benchmarking. If there's any issues with the 1080, we'll put in the GTX 1650 and see how that runs. I do have a small hard drive for this, nothing crazy, so that shouldn't be an issue. We're going to be working with hopefully Windows 10 or Windows 11. The 500-watt power supply, I believe, was intact, so that's pretty good. Um, it's got a B250 Intel motherboard, 7th gen processor. Like I said before, the Intel i7 7700. Let's see what that's clocked at. Let's see. There it looks like. Oh, it's clocked at 3.6 gigahertz base. I don't know what the. We'll look it up real quick. i7 7700. I just want to see what the base clock is, but also I want to see what the boost clock is, if it has a boost clock. Okay, so our max turbo, we call it. Max turbo is 4.2 gigahertz. It's a 4-core, 8-thread. Base is 3.6 gigahertz. It's 65 watt TDP. So whatever heatsink we have on there, it's actually a pretty nice heatsink. I think it's a nice uh, what is it? What do they call that? Nice full black Cooler Master heatsink. Kind of looks like a 212 Evo a little bit. So that should be pretty interesting. We're gonna put that together. We're gonna kind of try to get it all set up. It's got all nice LEDs. They did leave the LED fans in there. It didn't come with any of the accessories, so no mouse, no keyboard. But we're gonna see what we could do. See if we can get it back and running. It looks to be in pretty good shape, other than the faceplate. Probably need to glue it on or maybe screw it on. Whatever I gotta do, we're gonna do that. Alright, so guys, we finally got sponsored. I got 253 subs, and thank you guys for subbing and watching my videos. This is actually one of the sponsors that I managed to pick up. A sponsor named Dubby. They make kind of like energy drinks, but also they make what do they call it? Hydro samplers, which I believe is it's for hydration. So we're gonna check out that. I actually ordered this one because I was kind of interested. Let's see, we got a hydro sampler pack, caffeine free. So we're gonna try those out. I've drank a few different electrolyte style drinks that are supposed to hydrate you, and I like them. So we're gonna test these out. We'll see how these ones in particular are. We're gonna be trying Grandma's lemonade and grapefruit citrus. So comes with a nice little shaker bottle. Again, I don't know how the flavors taste, but hopefully, we'll check W out, see how they are. Um, they're gonna be sending me one free. Let's see. So they're gonna be sending me one free energy drink tub as a partner. So we're gonna check that out. I do wonder which one they'll actually end up giving us. Um, Again, I'm not so much into the energy drink portion, but I do like the hydration electrolyte packs. I usually drink those on my own. I haven't tested out Dubbies, but we're gonna see kind of what they got and what flavors they got. I did pick this one up just to try it out. On my next video, we're gonna be looking into that. I'll just have one. I'll be sipping on it, see how it tastes. They got Beach and Peach. This one comes with Beach and Peach, Dragonade, Galaxy Grenade, just as like testers. So we'll see which one we do on my next video. But again, thank you guys. We're gonna get right into the part where we start actually working on this computer. Um, I don't know exactly how we're gonna get this front panel back on, but we're gonna push to put this front panel back on. Hopefully our webcam is ready to go. This way we can set this video up. We have to, like I said, install the power supply. Well, we got the power supply. We have to install the graphics card. We have to install a hard drive, and then we have to install the RAM. And then after that, we're going to install Windows 10, however we have to do it, Windows 11, whichever. Um, and from there, we should be good, but we'll do some benchmarks, make sure the graphics card's good. If it's not, I have another one that we'll put in there, and we'll check it out. So thanks again, guys. Let's get right into it. Alrighty, guys. So I decided not to go with the 1080 Ti just because the power supply is only 500 watts. We're actually just going to go with the GTX 1650. So we're going to be popping this one in. I think this would just be the best option. If I did want to upgrade the power supply, then I would go with the 1080 Ti. But I don't know. I just think this would probably be best for this application. Just because the power supply is, less than 600 watts. So we'll do that. This is pretty much how it came. It looks like they probably had an SSD right over here. I don't have an SSD to pop in it, so it's going to be a little bit of a downgrade. I think the 1650 should perform a little bit better than the 1060. I have to look into that a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it is a little newer. But yeah, we're going to see. So here we go. Looks like it came with a Cooler Master heatsink. Pretty nice heatsink overall. We're gonna have to take that off. Just check out the thermal paste, see how that's looking. Yeah, we really have a lot we can put together. It does come with. Looks like it actually comes with an 8, and a 6 for our GPU. For the pinouts. You guys can see right there. So it could technically plug into the 1080 Ti because those are the pinouts it has. But I just don't want to risk it. We might be just pulling too much power for that power supply to handle, and it's probably just not recommended. So, all right. So first off, let's catch our breath real quick. We are going to take off this heatsink. It looks like it's a little dirty, but I'm not super worried. But basically, we're going to take a Phillips head. All right, this is nice. We got the electric Phillips head. I always do recommend when you're doing this, make sure you have some form of grounding strap. It's always good to have a grounding strap on. I got this pretty cheap, so I'm not as worried. But also, if you're ever trying to fix anything of your own, just a disclaimer: if anything does break, I'm not liable for that. Just make sure, do your research before fixing anything, and it's good to go to professionals for this kind of stuff. In my case, I mean, it's $20. I'm not too worried. Um, but yeah, we're gonna push through. Maybe you know what they say, never to use um, electric power stuff on motherboards. So just to be a good example, I'm not gonna use the drill portion of this little pen. Although, I mean, it's not too powerful. Anytime you're putting the screws on, um, definitely um, don't don't use any type of power drill, any type of anything that will power it on. Go by hand. You're risking your components, and you definitely don't want to screw up your components. So, even though this was a cheap setup, it's we might have been getting a good bargain for it. And honestly, I'm not gonna be cheap. We're gonna clean it because we have time, and we're gonna clean that off. Let's see kind of what we have here. Got a tissue, a couple napkins. But yeah, we're gonna see what we got. All right, so they do have types of cleaners you could use for this. I usually just use a little spritz of alcohol and on a pad. That's generally how I go about cleaning this kind of stuff. It actually looks like someone did put fresh paste on it. It's really not too bad. All right, you see, nice and grimy. Yeah, so it is exactly what we thought it was, an i7 7700. So that's pretty nice. Not bad. It's dirty. Dirty as can be. Um, I just want to see real briefly how much does this even go for? The processor alone. um, right now, eBay looks like you can get it for like $53. I would go off of Newegg's price, 109 off of Newegg. Probably, I'm sure, no shipping's free. 109. Okay, it's pretty cool. It's cool to know. But yeah, let's keep trudging along. So our goal is to take this old paste off, even though the paste looks pretty good. Usually that's not a good sign. If it's freshly pasted, sometimes. Oh wait, nah, that looks like it's been on for a little while. It looks like they just put a lot of paste on it. But if it is freshly pasted, sometimes you get unlucky and could have been a break. So I don't know if we're going to be repairing anything per se today. Usually I'm not so much about the repairable part because I'm not that good at it. Um, but we'll see what we could do. I've repaired a few. Um, I've had to replace some transistors, capacitors, and occasionally it works. You know, just depends. Just depends on the setup. Alright, so what we did there was clear off our heatsink from both sides. That's going to make it pretty nice, a nice flush fit. Yeah, so that's good. Now we got our thermal paste. We're going to pick that up real quick. Try to find where it is. I got some Arctic MX6, so that should work pretty good. Should do the job. Now, I'm not the best with applying this. I probably do it all wrong. I mean, with this kind of stuff, you don't want to go too crazy. You really don't want to go. You don't want to put too much, but you don't want to put too little. So you can kind of decide how much you want to put, but just be careful. I think I'm just gonna use whatever I got to spread that paste. Let's see. Do I have a specific paste spreader? Usually I use debit card or something along those lines. I'm literally just going to use a piece of paper. So, see how this goes. I think that's pretty good though. It looks like I just want to make sure it's like fully spread out. All right. Just make sure it's all around. I mean, that's how I do it. There are nice little scrapers you could use that could spread it perfectly, but I'm not even too worried. Okay, so I think missed a couple spots, but for the most part, once it heats up, it should even itself out a little bit. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Not perfect. I think I missed one or two spots, but we'll take it. So you guys probably can't see it very well, but what I did was we just put a little bit of thermal paste on the actual processor. Alright, sorry, camera's a little rough. We were gonna go with the GoPro, but I decided to skip on the GoPro because it would just take too long to charge up. So, no GoPro. That's what happened. Oh, damn. It's whatever. Alright, so it looks like these were not supposed to come off the board. Great. They came off the board. Hopefully we could just... They have little standoff screw type deals. Nuts. So hopefully we could just pop this back on and screw them back in. That's kind of what we hope. This one worked. The other ones didn't work. Alright, but anyways, anywho, see if we can, you want to do it evenly to disperse the weight. We have four screw points we got to screw in on each side. You want to make sure it's tight. You want to make sure everything's even all around. There's going to be, like I said, 4 screws. So there's one here, one here. There's 2 on the other side to put this heatsink in. It's not perfect. I want to try to figure out a better way to record. I feel like a lot of the time I'm recording and the videos just come out horrible. I don't really know why, but overall, the Logitech camera webcam is probably the best thing I've had. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just go with the Logitech camera. It comes out better. The Logitech headset comes out better. We're working off the audio off of the GoPro, and it's like, it's just not ample. Maybe the newer ones. I forget which one I have, but it was a 1080p version. It's just, for me, it just doesn't look right, doesn't sound perfect, and this webcam, the Logitech, I believe it's a 920S 1080p version, has been pretty solid over the years. Could probably use better angles, but yeah, if it works, it works. Alright, so we got a little bit more on this side. I don't want to go too crazy. If you over tighten these, it could be bad. Yeah, so we are in. All of our things kind of just bolted back up pretty good. Make sure everything's plugged in. It's a little dirty. It's all good. It's actually not that bad. Looks like this one over here is our LED control. So we should be able to switch up how our LEDs function. It probably has a switch for brightness, switch for the color scheme. So this is pretty cool. It looks like what is it? Comes with the Cooler Master heatsink. Comes with the Cooler Master fan. So that's cool. But yeah, we're gonna try to pop this on here. It fell off apparently. Looks like it fell off during maybe the movement when they were donating it to Savers. Okay. So it's not perfect. It's definitely not tight on there. That's probably why it fell off. It's a little on the loose side. Okay. Alright, so we adjusted that on there. It's not, like I said, it's not perfect, but the fan's on. We got our fan plugged in over here. You might be able to see the header, but probably not. There's a header right over here for the fan. It's a 4-pin header. Actually allows you to control the speed of the fan. If it's too loud, you could decrease the speed or increase the speed if you want it to run a little cooler. So you got that. Like I said, this was for the LED specifically. It looks like it's going down Behind it, it probably has maybe an LED controller in the back, I'm assuming. Yeah, so we got that. So we got our 24-pin power supply connector to our motherboard. Our USB 3 is already connected. Right over here, looks like this is where he had his SSD. So we're going to put the hard drive in there. Hopefully it'll fit. It's a small mini laptop one. You know, we should be using another SSD, but I just don't have any more SSDs after all the builds I've put together. So that would be a good option for an upgrade for sure. Good note, SATA's here. So it's good, and we got our power for it. I'm gonna say that looks like our front panel header. So this looks like our front panel header. It looks like it's already good to go. USB, probably audio of some sort. If I were to guess over here, another fan, probably. If I were to assume, I think it's this fan. Looks like they went underneath and around, wrapped over here. We got our USB. Looks like our USB 3.0 is over here. Maybe this is an additional USB. I'm hoping over here. It looks like there's an additional just hanging USB up top here. I'm really sure. Alright, so what's nice about this case, it's actually a pretty nice case. You guys probably can't see it, but front side has a nice port here. We probably fit a 360 millimeter AIO or some type of water cooler, which would be pretty nice. It fits all the way down here. So it's pretty good. 20 bucks. I mean, also, not to mention, I'm pretty sure a DVD drive of some sort could fit up here. I could be wrong, but it looks like a DVD drive slot right there. So yeah. Now we have our DDR4. We're going to hope 3600 megahertz works on this system. You know, it might. A lot of these are a little tricky once you get higher in speeds. Sometimes it becomes a little bit of a pain. But we're gonna run it. We're gonna see if it works. We might have to adjust some of the locations where we're putting the RAM. I'm just assuming that it's 2 and 4, but I could be wrong. So that we're gonna test out, check it out. Just make sure that's all in. I think that's in. All right. Always check your motherboard specifications for these type of things. All right. So it's a pretty nice motherboard though. Four RAM slots. We have two. Looks like two X16s. Yeah, we're gonna pop that GTX 1650. Let's see. It's a GTX 1650. I was hoping to get the I believe it's a 6 gigabyte. We're gonna look into that a little bit when we start it up. All right. I like to put these wires underneath the GPU, just my preference. And of course, my bad guys. I rushed it a little bit. That's alright. So we're going to find our screwdriver once more. Let's figure out where it went. There we go. We actually have to, it's back here. There's a panel back here. Usually they're there, but we just have to pull that panel off. It's pretty nice actually. They have, sorry I'm moving the camera a lot. I shouldn't be doing that. Alright, so it's actually pretty nice. It comes with screws for each one already set, so that's cool. We will have to remove this bracket. Not all of these computers have brackets. They're not all the same. They usually have the bracket there though. This is the bracket. Basically it just holds down your graphics card. Alright. Holds it in place. So now we could place our GTX 1650 down. I've already repasted this one, so she's good to go. Oh, it's so prepared. They prepared it so well. I will say iBUYPOWER really They really prepared this one. They all came with screws, so I got to pull the screws out. Totally forgot. Which is nice though. Like I don't have to pull out of my bag of screws, which is usually what happens. Turns out I have a lot of bags of screws for these systems. Alright, so there we go. So we got another screw out. We're going to reuse those, which is nice. Alrighty. There we go. Okay. Alright, so our GTX 1650 is going in the slot right now. This is going to be a nice system for sure. Let's see. Okay, we're screwing in our two screws. And now, don't forget, I always forget, the bracket. You want to make sure this bracket goes back on because it just helps with stability. I don't know if this is the case with this one. I'm pretty sure just a little bit. And I mean, this is such a small graphics card, but it's pretty small. It probably doesn't matter if it's probably not going to bend at all because the bigger the GPU, the easier it is for the board to bend, and you don't really want any. You don't want the GPU to sag or any of that. It's a good thing though. This is a very small GPU, pretty lightweight. Okay, so sorry I hit the camera there a little bit. Alright, so we're just gonna plug in our 6-pin to our 6-pin power connector right over here. Okay. Alright guys, so we got our RAM, we got our heatsink. I mean, it's great. CPU is repasted. We have our graphics card all set up. That's been repasted already. So what else do we need to do? Well, we have one more thing, maybe two more things to set up. This is going to be the harder stuff, probably. Alright, so what we're going to do, we have this here. This has its own power. This, I think, is just for the LED strip in the front. Sorry, guys. So it's just for this LED strip. It does actually light up red. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. iBUYPOWER really did it up for us. But yeah, we got to figure out where we're going to plug this in. Probably somewhere in the rear. It fell out when I was working on it, which is all good. It doesn't really matter. We'll just replug it back in. I believe there should. I'm just going to. Alright, so we're going to feed this through. Just for the video, I'm going to try to swing this around. Alright. Alright, so we are here. Alrighty guys, so what I did was we just had this wire. We're going to fish it through where I think it was, which is probably at the lower bottom half. Okay, so we'll go through here. This is where I'm assuming it's going to go. It's going to go in one of these ports here. Kind of sneak that in. Alright, so here's our problem though. That's not really an issue. Our issue is someone actually messed these up. Most of them cracked. So it looks like a lot of our brackets, our mounting points, had for the most part been broken off. We are relying on maybe one or two. I was hoping we could do something about that. I don't really know what I could do. Maybe might be able to just use a zip tie up in here, or use some type of. I was thinking like a bezel clip, or some form of something to kind of fit in here. But haven't really actually found anything for my own use to fix something like that. But we're gonna try it out. See what we can do. I don't really know. Can't go wrong. Okay, I mean, that one's definitely in. Oh, that one's definitely not in. Okay. So, how are we going to fix this, guys? So, our issue is this mount's just going to keep pulling up. We don't really want it to do that. So, what I did, I bought, let's see where I put them. Where did I put them? So I put, oh, here they are. Alright, so what exactly are these? Let's kind of roll over here. There we go. So I bought some form of seal retainers. Retainer clips. Figured something like this might work. Just to keep it in its place. I absolutely love these things, but I think it might just be too large to possibly work. We're going to just try to drop it in the hole and hope that it holds us together. Otherwise, you can always, yeah, you probably could always super glue. I think super glue is probably your best bet. I think this is just way too large for an application. Yeah, it's just way too large, I'm pretty sure. Only thing I could really think of is like breaking one off, but I don't want to bust it any more than it already is up top here. So say I can get this in here. Yeah, actually, that. Alright, so what I did was we're pushing it in the hole that's already there. Now this could break, and that's what I'm worried about. Yeah, looks like, huh. These are kind of great because they adjust and they move. And they're supposed to be pretty flexible, but these ones kind of stiff. So this might be a hard fit. Once it's in there, it's hopefully gonna stay in there. Oh, I see. Yeah. What else can we put in there is the question. How else can we pop it in there? Maybe. Quick little. What do we have here? Okay, so this bracket, I'm thinking we could possibly get something over here to we can get some over here to zip tie that on, and I think we should be good there. So that's what we're gonna do. Don't really want to, but it's kind of just what we have. So yeah, we'll do that. Let's get all that. Okay. We got our vacuum there. Alright, let's get this around here. We gotta get this going. Okay. Oops, shit. Okay. So we are near where we gotta be. Okay, we're locked in, which is good. So now let's push our wire through over here. Okay. Alright, so we're there. Now we're going to click this in. Okay, I like that. I don't like that. Okay. Yeah, nah. That's not right. That's a little off. Okay. Huh, I don't think it's visually gonna be off, but we're gonna check it out. Alright, so we're not perfect. Definitely not perfect. But that's gonna keep the panel on at least, I believe. Oh, I see. The frickin' wire. You gotta be tripping with that thing. That wire is what's causing it. There we go. Okay. So the wire was causing it. It was causing this panel not to um, buckle in, so we got it in. Looks like there is a crack up here. It's probably dropped on its top, I'm assuming. It's all good though. We've got a little bit of there's something rattling over there. I don't know what's rattling. There's a lot of stuff rattling, to be honest. Yeah, we're gonna find some stuff when we open this thing up. Alright. Let's put it on its back here. Next up, you guys ready? Next up, we're gonna be opening this up. Tampered glass, handled with care. What would be nice, I should probably come around and wipe all this down. It's pretty nice tampered glass. Alright. They set it up pretty well. Looks like the edge over here, it's probably hard to see to be honest. The edges over here, there's a little recess here where we actually fit the mirror in, the window in, the glass in I should say. So it comes out like this, comes out straight, on an angle I should say, and now we gotta pull up, and it's not perfect, but there we go. Okay, let me get this out the way. Hope for the best with that glass. Yeah, so let's figure it out. So basically this came from the front. It's a little Molex connector. This is for, I believe it's for the LEDs on the front here, the red LED. Let's see where that plugged in. Okay. Should have plugged in here. I think it plugged in over here. There we go. There's a Molex. Alright, let's get that. So she's good to go. That's good there. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. They did a pretty good job managing the cables. I probably did not, but while we're here, got a little fuzzy there too. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna put. Oh, ooh, that was close. Alright, so there's another fuzzy over here. We'll get that one too. That one's big. Look at that. Some of these are dirty. Ah, we should be good. Alright. So our lower glass fell. Good thing we didn't break it, but the glass on this isn't perfect, but surely ain't bad. Okay. Alright. And do I have anything to wipe this down with? I think I do. Alright. Let's see if I have the Windex. Yep, I do. Alrighty, guys. So next up, I want to see if I can get that sticker off, but I also want to Windex this down. Let's get this sticker off though. I'm sure we don't really need the handle with care sticker on there still. There we go. So we'll get this. Oh man. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna lightly spray it down. Be careful though, never, don't go too crazy with it. Let's clean this up a little bit. Should come out pretty good. Then we'll clear up the front. Yeah, for 20 bucks. Pretty nice case. Probably not perfect with airflow, but yeah, what can you do? There's a nice deep scratch right there. But again, it's on the back side, so alright. So not perfectly clean, but any of the big stuff is up. So shit, my bad guys. Look what I'm doing here. Alright. That wasn't a scuff, which is good. Not a scratch, I should say. Alright. Now we just put these back on. Same thing like the heatsink. I believe they do, or at least they should be. You kind of want to go back and forth. You don't really want too much pressure on one side because one side lifts. If one side has too much pressure, from what I've seen, could be wrong, but okay. So we're good. There's one side, all good. Let's get this side up. Don't know if we ever found whatever is clanking around. I do see something, but there's a lot clanking around over here. I don't know what all that shit is. Oh, it's the plastic. The broken plastic pieces from the top. Yep, and there's a lot of them too. Wow. Alright, so this thing had probably taken a nice sized drop. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. So if you want to know where all those pieces are for the... Oh yeah. They're all over here. Let's see. I don't want to break them any further, so... They're there. Yep. So those are all part of the front panel. It looks like the person, whoever was working with this front panel to take it off, looks like they probably ripped it. Literally just tore it off. Or possibly maybe when they dropped it, if it was dropped, maybe that's what did the damage. That sucks, but I mean you could probably glue those back on, but most of the time when you're dealing with something that gets constant use, or if you're expecting it to have to stretch out and flex back into its place, it's probably just gonna breaking again. So yeah, so well we got this on. Not great. It'll at least stay in the position, being that it is on there and it's strapped. So that's good. We shouldn't really have an issue. It's kind of floppy a little bit, but alright, so we're going to cut this zip tie right here. It is zip tied on, so not perfect, but it'll do. Alright, let's see if we can, I don't know if we're going to be able to, but yeah, we can fit that back in there. Yep. Alright, so we put our little shield, our dust shield in there. And last but not least, let's get our last piece of glass in. Gotta stretch out to go grab it. Okay, same thing. We're just kind of gonna fit this down under here. It's got a nice lock-in type thing we do there. Looks like actually might have stretched it out a little bit too much. There we go. Alright, so everything's seated pretty well. Alright. Actually took these out earlier today, so should be able to pop them back in. It sucks we had to zip tie the front panel, but it really shouldn't go anywhere. Should be good. Not what I like to do, but okay. So same thing. We're gonna go. I like to go across. Not that it really matters, but let's see. All right. And just to finish everything off, we'll take the sticker off if we can, to the best of our ability. We got the other star, the Savers sticker in the front. Pull that one off too. So yeah, we're gonna have a nice little setup for pretty cheap. I think the 1650 I got for a really good deal. I think it was like 40 bucks on eBay. It looked like the guy didn't really know what he was selling. He had a lot of parts. I knew the shipping was going to be a lot, so I was worried. Like, are you going to ship it? Or because he was shipping motherboards. I think it was like 30 or 40 bucks. I saw that. It was like a not a great photo of it, but when I saw the motherboards, I'm like, all right. So he's only charging 10 bucks of shipping. That's not enough. Definitely not enough. And then $40, I was like, I'm gonna give him money if he needs for that shipping, because it's he probably went at a loss. He took about a month to send it out, and I have no, maybe like 2 months. Like, I have no problem communicating, and hey, if there's an issue, if there was a miscalculation on the shipping, no big deal. Let me know. But it took like 3 months to get it. So that sucked, but I did eventually end up getting the GTX 1650 in the mail. So luckily here it is here, and hopefully we'll be able to use it, and it'll be a good card. Pretty sure I tested it earlier in the AMD rig. Worked out pretty well. So let's see what we got. Getting a used computer, you don't really know what you're getting. But even any of the components, you never know when they're gonna fail, if they do fail. So everything's a diagnostic every day. It's not perfect. There does look like there's some heavy. These don't, like, I would think those are like scuffs or scratches. I don't think so. I think those are just on there. The little triangle doesn't seem to want to come off. So that triangle's there. Maybe some Goo Gone would probably do it, but I don't really know. Yeah, I would have to really. Those are just little tiny. Looks like there's like pretty rough adhesive on there. That's what I would probably do. Maybe some Goo Gone. I'm not really sure for that, but I'm not going to test that out. Yeah, I think we're all set. Now we're just going to get Windows 10 on here, try to power it up. I guess you guys can see it get powered up. Let's do that. I don't have the Windows 10 I don't have the Windows 10 USB set up, so I'm not going to be able to put that, but let's get these stickers off while we're here. Saver sticker, they just put it on. Luckily, when it's placed on early, it comes off pretty quick. Just get that little bit of adhesive. I've done this quite a bit. Yeah, I've done this quite a bit. All this dirt, these stickers, I'm used to pulling these off a lot. GameStop always had these things on them. But yeah, so now let's get our power cable and let's power her on. See what we can do. See if it powers on, and figure out if there's any issues, any problems. From there, we'll figure out how we're gonna fix it. Alright, so only thing I could do right now before I finish the video, we're gonna finish up with the benchmarks. Before I do all that, freaking strangled by my headset. Alright, before I do all that, let's power it on. I'll show you guys the LEDs. Hopefully the LEDs are rocking. Power supply. Okay. Alright, so. Alright, let's find a place to plug this in. And let's go. Oh, my bad. Not let's go. Let's go now. Boom. Check that out. Oof. Let's give it a little view just around. Come around the side. You know what's up. Oh shit, my bad. You guys can see nice LEDs. That's a really nice hyper Cooler Master. It looks like the 212. I'm not sure. It definitely looks like the 212 though. It's nice. We got the red on the top. Got the multicolor RGB. And front. Nice. Yeah, it's nice. I think this will change the RGB on the front. Is that? No, no, I'm dumb. That's a reset button. Never mind. Mine has it where we could like fluctuate the different RGB colors. Um, but damn, yeah, this is nice. This is real nice. This is a nice setup. All right. Alrighty, guys. So now we're going to get over to um, the benchmarks. I will talk to you guys in a bit. Hey guys, so this is my bad. I totally forgot. Can't go. I mean, it's always got to be something I forgot. Gotta install this hard drive. Don't forget the hard drive. All right. So just remember your hard drives generally have fine thread screws. You probably need the screws. You just have to unscrew this thumb screw here. It's pretty easy actually. Yeah, so we're gonna place this in, down and in, and we're gonna connect our connectors right here, and then we'll put it all together. All right. So I'm gonna do that. I'll be right back. Let's get that, and in a moment, hopefully we can get into some form of operating system. I don't know what this hard drive has on it. We're gonna figure that out. But yeah, I don't know. It could have Batacera on it. Um, it could have nothing on it. It could be a clean drive. That we're gonna look into, see what we got here. If not, I have the Windows 11 creation tool, so we'll just boot that up. But yeah. See, while we load this, see kind of what it does. So that is loading. Like I said, this is the system we're looking at right here. As it loads, we changed out the hard drive. It's a 500 gigabyte um, laptop drive, so it's quite a bit slower than an SSD. We got our GTX 1060 here. We actually installed the 1650 because it didn't come with that. Um, so let's see. Let's do our comparison. I don't know how they really compete because I've never really owned a 1060. Well, I've never owned a 1650. I've owned a 1060. So this is the. All right, so that says that's a 6 gigabyte, but technically it would have had a 3 gigabyte. So let's put that in. Granted, you do have to do quite a bit of research. User benchmark's pretty solid. I like user benchmark, but it might just be based on preference. Alright, so this is the card it would have had in it, most likely. Maybe an OEM version, I'm not sure. It actually might be slightly slower. That's a shocker. 1650, slightly slower. Wow. Now that's crazy to hear, to be honest. Shit. Faster speeds. Yeah, damn. Better value. It is more recent. Oh, yeah, so the 1060 would have been a stronger setup. I'm thinking of the 1660. The 1660 was better than the 1060, I believe. That's probably what I got mixed up. That's pretty crazy, though. Even an RX 570 would outperform the 1650. apparently. Wow, that's crazy. All right, well, we'll work with what we got. It's generally offers better performance, especially the 6 GB model. Damn, so I should have picked up a 1060 for this thing. 30%. Yeah, outperforms 1650 by 30%. That's the 6 GB model though. So that's gonna be. I'm gonna say this the 1060 3 GB probably. I'm thinking about 15 to 20% faster than the 1650. I don't really think the 1650 is gonna cause us any issues. I think it'll be just fine for the application. But yeah, we're gonna test it out and see. It sucks. I did think it was quite a bit better of a card, but um, what can you really do? Well, we got a login. I'm not gonna have any password to that. Oh, she's good. Lenovo. Oh, okay. I mean, Windows is solid. At least just glad it has Windows on it. We work with that. Nobody signed in, so that's good. Um, Definitely, we need some updates. We need to get online with this thing. I don't know if it's got Wi-Fi built in. It might not. It might not have Wi-Fi built in. So let's see what we got. Okay, we're gonna look in our about section. Come on, come on. There we go. All right, so we are looking at a. This came off of an idea pad. Installed RAM. We have 32 gigabytes of RAM. The processor i7 7700, which we mentioned. Um, okay, it's Windows 10 Home. I mean, that's okay. It's not bad. We'll take it. Whatever the case may be, I'm down for it. It thinks it's a. It does think it's a Lenovo ThinkPad. That's interesting. Definitely not that. All right, so we're gonna have to get online with it, and I don't know if it has its own built-in Wi-Fi adapter. If not, I'm gonna have to plug one in. Oh, I see. I see. Here's a very good example, actually. Let me see. I'll pull it up. Okay, so here's our window capture for the 1650 versus the 1060 versus the 1660, which is pretty interesting. While we wait, it's going to be a minute before I can fully get that Wi-Fi adapter driver installed. Looks like we have the 1650. They're all PCIe 3.0 x16 slots. Looks like the core clock on the 1650 is 1485, while the 1060 is 1706. The 1660 is 1530, a little less than the 1060. But as far as that memory clock, that's a lot. That is a lot lower, so that could definitely have done it. That memory clock, max supported memory. I do think the 4 gigabytes probably would help the 1650's case because the 1060 that it had was 3 gigabytes. That extra gigabyte will absolutely do you pretty good in a couple of games for sure. The TDP though, that's pretty good. I mean, 75 watt. We're going to be using a lot less power than what you would in 2016 compared to 120 watt TDP. So pretty solid. Now, as far as what does this card have to offer that this one may not? Um, Honestly, I think they all have DirectX 12. It looks like each one has DirectX 12. Uh, yeah, 1060 even does it better, which is pretty crazy. The 1660 definitely beats out 1060 in most of these tests. This is through Passmark, so oh yeah, oh yeah, that they absolutely The 1660 absolutely killed the 1650 graphics wise. Wow. Oh yeah. Oof. Okay, so let's see how we are doing on that download. Let's see if we can push forward. I think we are good. Let's see. Let's go find that adapter. It still thinks we're on a Lenovo. It's crazy. Here we go. Okay. So we are going to be checking out WNA 3100. Now, I might have downloaded a 32-bit version of this, and I hope I did not. This might work. That's always a problem. If you have a 32-bit application, it just won't install your application on a 64-bit operating system. And being that I work with that the few Windows XP systems and the Vista systems, there is sometimes where I download 32-bit applications, which is always a pain. So hopefully this works out for us. Always a pain. Yep, so we got our Netgear, we have our Windows 10. Okay, and honestly, the Vista rig, I know we all want to see it get up. I want to see it going. I'm so tired of Vista. I hate to say it. I got so tired of Vista. So quick too. Very quick. Like, oh man. I want Windows 7 on there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. All right. Let's get this thing going. On a Vista, that would have been a lot more steps. Let's go get Google Chrome. Let's go get what else we got? We'll get Passmark. Kind of want to put Steam. Oh, yeah, okay. Right after Google Chrome, we'll get all the drivers. That's a good idea. We need the driver for the B250 motherboard, as well as the drivers for the GTX 1650. Of course. Okay, let's get this. Alright, we do not want to see anything about the antivirus, because we're going to get an antivirus set up. There we go. It's important we get our drivers set up, because without the drivers, we're going to have a terrible time. Definitely will not look good. It's going to look like what's looking now. Very poor. Okay. I will likely have to sign into my NVIDIA. Drivers. Oh, did I get it in time? We're probably going to uninstall McAfee. Let's see. Uninstall. What the heck? It's not what I thought it was. Alright. Let's just log in real quick. Alrighty, you guys. So I actually decided that the hard drive was a little lacking. It is a older laptop drive. It's 5400 RPM. So what we're actually gonna do, I just actually purchased this here. It's a 1 terabyte um, SSD upgrade kit. So we're gonna pretty much install this right in here. If we can, I don't know what would be the easiest option, but we're gonna pop that in right now. Alrighty guys, so we are back. Surprisingly enough, here's a drive here. So we got the SSD. It actually came with a USB adapter, which kind of nice, but also why didn't they include a M.2? What is it? Not a M.2, but a M2 screw. Luckily, I actually have one. Sometimes the motherboard itself will come with one of these little screws for the SSD. In our case, I mean the motherboard might have had it. I'm not sure, but it was from Savers. But you would think that the SSD itself would also come with one of these screws, or even the board would have one already on it. But I'm assuming that's a no. So I'm gonna try to install this as it is. See how we do. All right. Let's see if we can get a little visual on it. Probably not. No. Fuck. I hate this. Fuck me. This is probably the worst fucking build put together. This little fucking M2 screws. Oh, fuck my life. Seriously? Alrighty guys, so we are back. Today we're going to be installing this NVMe solid state drive. It looks like, well, we were trying to use try to get an angle on this. We were trying to use this WD 5400 RPM laptop drive, but it's just giving us a lot of issues. It's very slow. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this M.2 in. It's kind of nice. It actually came with an M.2 USB adapter. We're not going to be using that. Hopefully we won't have to. This board actually comes with a M.2 slot. It's pretty hard to see, but it's actually underneath the heatsink. Not directly under, but just to the side over here. So we're kind of gonna, for this, we're gonna have to reach in there and try to put it into the slot. It is just to the left of the actual graphics card. If it's easier, possibly doing this first would have been the best option. Let's see if we can get it though. You guys can see we're placing it in. Okay. Now here's the fun part. Usually the motherboard either has the screw on it already, or I would assume the SSD would have had it, but the SSD did not. So what I had to do was I actually found a M2 screw that'll fit on the board right over here. It's not perfect, but hopefully we'll be able to get this. Alright, let's see if we got this. See what would be the best angle. I wonder if I can lose this shit again. Best angle is no angle. No, no angle. There's no angle. Fuck it, we're going for it. Missed. Missed. Fuck. Fuck me. Stupid fucking piece of shit screw. This camera sucks balls with angle. Okay, so we're gonna try to put it in by hand. Definitely not fun. Oh, this sucks. Yep, there she goes again. Fucking. Alrighty guys, don't do this at home, but I'm doing the old thermal grease screwdriver trick, so hopefully the thermal grease will hold this together so it doesn't fall apart. Come on, we got this. This is probably one of the hardest things I've done so far. Okay. Okay, get my other hand in there. Probably want to wash that. Sorry guys, this is horrible. Alright, so if I place this up here, it's a better angle. So okay, so we are screwing that SSD in there. This way you guys see we actually installed it. It's right there. Damn, yeah, that was a lot of work. Alright, so she's in. She should be good. We got a little bit of that thermal paste on the top of that screw. It's a little odd, you know, weird thing that I do, but I've used it for a lot of applications. A lot of times people put a little bit of grease on the screw, or This way it won't drop as easy, or you could use magnetic tips, but that's just not something I currently have. Also, I don't think you want to use magnetic tips on the actual motherboard. Um, but yeah, this is what I do, and it should be good. So we're gonna get right into it. Alrighty, guys. So let's go over what we just did. So I thought it would be in our best interest to probably add a M.2 SSD. So that's what we did. I actually picked this up. This is a 1 terabyte PNY SSD. I noticed the motherboard did actually have an M.2 slot, so that's pretty good. I mean, I believe they were selling this, iBUYPOWER was selling this in 2017, 2018. So, pretty lucky it did have an M.2. I know they were getting a little bit more popular back then, so yeah, we got that just installed. Now we're going to go kind of run through getting that old hard drive, all that information as well as Windows onto the other drive, the faster drive, because we're just going to have so many issues. The problem is the 5400 RPM drives, while they were good for a while, they're now like pretty slow. Um, you're better off with a much faster drive. We're going to see this thing, it's going to be a lot more peppy, and everything from downloads, installs, etc. It's just going to be so much better. So that's kind of what we're working on. Um, we're going to pop this up and see what we could do as far as that goes. Let's make sure. All right. Um, it's good. We get to kind of bring you through the entire process of what I do to it. It's not perfect. There's going to be a lot of hiccups, but we just do what we can for the most part. Let's see, video capture. This should be it. Sorry, guys. It's my bad. Okay. All right. So here we are. We're posting, which is good. Um, this is kind of what we want to be, where we want to be at. We gotta figure out. It's been a while since I've transferred all the information from one drive to the other, so that's gonna be a little bit of a learning curve for me. It should be easy. I used to have a drive, what is it? A drive cloner, so it would clone everything. Let's see what we could do. There's probably an application we're gonna be running through. Alright, so we are 2 and 3. Let's see if this one is the one. Yeah, this one looks a little more complicated. Oh, OS migration? Alright. So let's sure you want to migrate system to HD1. Okay, alright, so it's saying warning, all files and partitions on target device disk will be overwritten. Are you sure you want to migrate system to HD1, which is our PNY 1 terabyte drive? And I think that would be perfectly fine, but we're gonna see right here. Okay, alright. This all looks good. It looks promising. But as you guys know, with the last two, we've had a lot of issues. So we're going to see. Hopefully this works out. And hopefully there isn't some form of issue that comes across or paywall. Let's see. Alright, operations to be performed involve system partition, encrypted partition, or the partition where the application is installed. Please choose how To complete the task, if you select to restart, please close all the other applications running and save unfinished content. Current system will shut down and restart automatically to continue this operation. Carries out this operation via taking snapshots without closing current system. Please save data for all running applications. Alright. We'll try a hot migration. See what happens. Give it a shot. I don't know. If it screws up, it screws up at this point. We're getting further than the other two applications. Disk Genius, hopefully you are the one. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so we are moving. It looks like, I mean, it's a lot of gigabytes to move over, but hopefully um, all of our storage will find its way over. Hope for the best. Alrighty, you guys, so we are back. Let's see how everything came out, and hopefully we're good to go. What I probably will do, and you guys will probably see me do it, or maybe I'll just cut it out real quick. I'll just remove that drive. This way it'll boot right off of that. I think everything went well though, but let's see. So we got our Lenovo, that's different. Windows old, and then this is going to be our new system. Let's see. Oh, here we go. All right. There we go. So let's look right here. System drive, and everything's ready to go. All right. Yep, everything looks good. This is our new SSD that we just installed. So, I mean, I think I'm going to remove that drive, the old one, just in case. Let's give it a full shutdown. I'm not going to do a update. Yeah, so we'll do this real quick. I'll just kind of, luckily with this it's kind of nice, I guess, because you can just pull off the top. I think we could lean. Yeah, we could lean it a little bit, but I'm gonna remove the rest. Let's see. It's a good angle for it. So we're just gonna remove those cables. Okay. I do want to wait for it to fully turn off, which could take a minute. Okay, so it's powered off. Normally I would power it off from the bottom. I'm literally just gonna pull it because it's turned off. Pull the powers off the hard drive. All right. Yeah, so we're good. We good. Power cable and the SATA, and let's mount our panel back up. This is pretty easy. I actually kind of like this panel setup. I have a newer one, but I like that it's got the lip. Makes it easier to work on and fix without actually having to pull the glass. Okay. Right. And now here is our finished product. Let's see if it wants to turn on. Maybe if I hold. Okay. Let me see. There we go. Took a minute. We got the lights working. All right. What am I even doing? Where's our boot order? Let's try that. Because yeah, this is probably what happened. This is what I'm assuming. Apparently, there's different partitions to that drive, I think. So I booted from the PNY partition, but it's supposed to be possibly the UEFI OS partition. Let's try this. Because there's definitely an OS on there. For it to say there's not, it's kind of crazy. But let's see if that helps. Save configuration, and hopefully we just load right onto whatever operating system it's got there. This is a mess. Okay. There we go. We got our boot time up a little bit. Okay. Partition destroyed. That's whatever. Okay. Does that mean it's a failed? Alrighty, you guys. So we got our SSD installed. We got Windows installed on the SSD. Let's see what else we could do. So as you guys know, we went through four. Well, I think it was four, but we have three here. We have IOMI. We were trying, didn't work. EasyOS didn't work. We had to pay. Disk Genius. So we were able to use Disk Genius, and that helped us and allowed us to um, bring our old Windows to our other drive, our new drive. So clone it. It's great. This is free. It actually worked. The other two did not. You had to pay for it. So I wasn't trying to do that. All right. So we're gonna pick up hardware monitor. If you guys don't know, hardware monitor allows you to monitor your hardware. So um, where is it? All right. Let's get the setup version. Close that. Download the hardware monitor. This will allow you to monitor temperatures, RPM of your fans, speeds. I'm sure there's a few other things. Voltages, quite a bit of things that are very important for having a stable computer. Alright, so now we can hopefully get off of the internet completely because we don't necessarily need it right now for our benchmark. Okay, so we're going to go over a few things. We kind of went over the processor, the graphics card, like, a few things we already went over. We have our i7 7700. I did notice there was another model. Apparently, it came with an 8700. Similar looking, but probably would have performed a little better. Yeah, this is our motherboard. It's an ASRock B250M Pro 4 IB. We have our voltages. Voltages look pretty good. You don't really want that going over a 1.3, I believe. Okay, here's our temperatures. Our cores are sitting at 36. That would be perfectly fine for where we're at. Package. Okay, power draw. Okay. Clock speeds. Here's our clock speed sitting at 4200, 4.2 gigahertz, 4.1. We drop down a little bit. Here we go. This is the new drive. I think I spent 78 with a warranty package, which probably wasn't necessary, but it's worth it, I'm sure. If anything happens to it, temperature is pretty solid. Connected right to the motherboard, so the motherboard had a slot for it. As you guys saw, it was a difficult install the way it was. It would have been easier. You know what? The best thing you could do before you do anything, install everything while the motherboard is out of the computer, if you can. Okay, so here is our GTX 1650. Hotspot, temperature, GPU temp. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Our clock speed, graphics clock, memory clock. Okay. All right, so that is everything. We even have our Wi-Fi adapter here. All right, so what we do is we let this kind of go on in the background while we perform our benchmarks. Let's see. All right, so let's start up. We're going to start up our performance test. We want to make sure. We want to make sure. Let's see. There's not anything running out in the background because I mean, other than I'm gonna keep hardware monitor running just to keep our temperatures. But there we go. So you actually could see the M.2 there. There we go. See our graphics card, 4 GB model. Okay. There is our CPU. All right, so we're gonna do a full benchmark. You guys could watch as we go through. These usually are pretty time consuming, but I like to have a benchmark. This way we can go back at any point in time and take from that benchmark and compare other computers that we have, which I haven't done that often, but like with the my Windows Vista computers, I've been kind of going head to head because I want to see which one would edge out the other, or try to get a little more performance on the other one, which one will get basically the top, and be able to perform the best out of the three that I have. Well, technically I have two, and then one other one not fully together. So, so we'll see. And I also have two XP rigs, so that's pretty interesting. I haven't compared those head to head, but I'm pretty sure the first XP rig I put together is probably going to be a lot faster than my older XP rig. Right. Let's get that protein shake in, guys. Here we go. We got our 2D graphic test. Yep. Every time I think we got a virus on here. This time, not yet. Okay. Oh, mouse doesn't. It seems like the mouse is loading now. That's not good. Holy moly, guys. It has been a day. It's like we are getting through it. Pretty much do the hardest part, which is the operating system setup. And hopefully we won't have any issues after this. Sometimes, for whatever reason, the day after or the next boot up is a problem. That is never good. Hopefully there's no issue in that sense. We got our controller ready, so we are good. There we go. Look at that GTX 1650 working its magic. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Oh, shit. Pretty much a decent 1080p rig is what this will be. Not 1440, definitely not. Not 4K, anything like that, but maybe some 1080, maybe some little under 1080, depending on the game. Okay. There we go. So we are rolling. It is. I mean, this definitely went faster than the Vista rig on this for sure. So it's definitely a step up. Probably around the same price for what I got it for. Maybe. I think the Vista I put 40 or 50 into the Vista rigs because the heat sink. I usually pick them up fully, and then we put the heat sink in. That I have to generally purchase unless I have one lying around. Um, Hard drive, which is a couple bucks for me. I got them pretty cheap, or I already have them. Let's see. Other than that, the newer XP rig got a newer Vista motherboard. So not a Vista motherboard, but a newer LGA 775 motherboard. Vista motherboard. But yeah, that one has a new motherboard, new-ish. So that one probably would be. I think that costs about $50. So that was the most expensive part. So overall, the newer parts, I think that was like 70. The older parts, that I pieced together for pretty cheap. Probably cheaper than what I got this for. Definitely without the SSD, this thing, yeah, the other one was a lot cheaper. But still not bad. I would say the newer Vista rig that I have is kind of pretty close to pricing. I mean, 70 compared to 120, it's pretty close. Not super close, but they're gonna perform completely different. This one's gonna like completely outperform a Vista setup, only because yeah, it's a new motherboard, but it's an old motherboard at the same time. That motherboard on the Vista rig, I don't know when it came out. It was a G41, so it probably came out in 2009, 2008, 2010. But it's newer for the LGA 775 socket, so that's why I say the new motherboard. It's like I think it's new stock, but not new comparative to uh, compared to the um, iBUYPOWER computer. So that one's a lot newer. So let's see. This is an i7, so I mean, as crazy as it sounds, a couple of the i7s, the older ones, are kind of phasing out too. I would say. I'm sure you can get some of the earliest i7s, and it probably won't perform that well for like more intense games. So I don't know. I wonder if that's probably a decent pass mark. I'm sure to the 3D mark. I want to see what the comparison is compared to other people's I don't even know like their benchmarks that they got for it. Let's see right here actually. 3D mark for GTX 1650. Let's see how we're looking. I want to know what the average 3D mark would be. Oh wow. Whoa. Okay, so it looks like we actually scored quite a bit higher than the median for this card. I mean, see here, this the average 3D Mark score, I believe it's 7259. So we're hitting 8,479. So that's quite a bit higher than the average, I'd assume. It's not bad. Not bad. Not great. We got a budget gaming PC. So we're not even in that budget graphics anymore. This is like below budget, low end, very very low end at this point in time. Because their budget gaming PC, I don't know what they have in it. That'd be let's see, what do they? So their budget PC consists of a Radeon RX 7600. I mean, it's pretty crazy. And that's getting 23,606 scores. So we're looking way under budget gaming PC for 2025. 2023 actually. That's pretty crazy to be honest. That's a I mean I guess the RX 7600 would be considered a budget card now, but still. Yeah, sure. Let's see. What does this card go for? 200? Yeah. Yep. That's a budget card. So this would be like a low end, very low end card. This budget card goes for 210 RX 7600, 210 on Newegg, I believe. Let's see. So we are almost done testing. Let's see. Kind of want to see. It looks nice. It's one of those ASRock Challengers, I believe. 10 gigabyte model, 210. No, actually, this is showing me the B570 Intel card. That's interesting. Alright, so we got our score. Let's see. Alright, so we got 5920 on our pass mark rating. Okay. Let's submit our baseline. Thank you for submitting your baseline. Now everybody else can see our baseline and compare it to theirs. Oh, okay. So this would be a perfect comparison if you've had an RX 580 back when that card came out, and I believe 2017, around that time. The RX 580 was considered pretty good, if not very good. I would think at least the Nvidia cards may have been a lot better back then, but for Radeon, they had the RX 580 and the 590. The 580 was pretty solid. I had one. I think it was going for about 230 initially. So yeah, it's really not that bad compared to the RX 580. The RX 580 is considerably old now. So, and then we're looking at that's crazy. Laptop GPU is a laptop GPU is completely ripping it out of the park. Um, Here we are. We have a 1050 Ti mobile version, so that's interesting. An R9 380. So the R9 380 was like Radeon's model prior to the RX models. The RX 470, that was a model that was a 400 series models, which was under the 500 series models. Um, okay, it beats out a 470, so that's pretty good. 2060, you can see the 2060 almost doubles the performance of the 1650 that we have. I mean, I think we're in a pretty good spot. We're going to push forward, but still pretty solid. See our pass mark score, our CPU score. We'll look at that. I want to see that. All right, so Threadripper rips it. I don't like that it's only giving us a couple intels. I think we need a bigger list. Like, for me, I don't know. Like, I've never used the Threadripper processors before, so for me, that it's not like it's not a good comparison. I feel like. Um, Microsoft Surface Edition. Again, I don't really know. It's a Microsoft Surface Edition. It's a Ryzen 5, but it's strange. Just give us like straight numbers. This is great, but again, I'm not super intelligent when it comes to Intel stuff. I know the Ryzen 9 3900, pretty solid, but also, it's more than tripling the performance of this. It also probably came out a little later, I'd assume. And then we have our 8700. So the i7 8700K, if I'm correct, I'm thinking this would have been the upgraded version of the iBUYPOWER. Not 100% sure. I don't know about the K model. I think it was just a standard i7 8700. But yeah, that's a pretty big boost. If that's a simple upgrade you could do to this, that's pretty good. Damn, and you could see some of the highest scores that this specific chip has received. Somebody managed to get a 9540 up to a 9600. 33 baselines are in that area. It's pretty good. All right. So let's keep it moving. So we got the one benchmark. We're gonna get the second benchmark out of the way. I love Heaven Bench, so I can't complain. But yeah, it's a lot of benchmarks going on here. Also, before we do that, let's just check our maxes, temp maxes. There are some times where you're gonna see certain temperatures in the computer get a little too high, and this is kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for red. I mean, to keep it simple, we're looking for red. They're not always going to be red, I don't believe, but we're making sure the temperatures are within working range. So if they're too high, we have to figure out what's wrong. In our case, I think we got to 66 at one point. On the processor, I think that's perfectly fine. Yeah, so we're gonna do Heaven Bench DirectX 11 on high and see how this runs for us. It doesn't have to be a specific time limit. We're just gonna do one quick run. We're not competing for the pass mark for this time around, so that won't matter too much. Alright, so I know last time I forgot to press bench, and that was not great. Okay, so here we are. Look at that, we're doing pretty good. We're at just around 70 FPS. Everything looks pretty solid. We just jumped up to 98, 97. It's coming down a little bit. Going up to 150, that's pretty good. You see our graphics clock is 2145 megahertz. Our memory is 6001 megahertz. And here's our temperature. And we just want to make sure that doesn't go too high. Let me look up while this is benching. We're going to look at the GTX 1650's max temperature. And that's how you're going to know where you don't want to be. Alright, max temp. The GTX 1650 is designed to handle temperatures of up to around 87 Celsius. You want to aim to keep it below 80 to 85. Alright, so we are in the 80s range. We are slowly climbing. Although 85 Celsius isn't damaging, anything above 87 Celsius and above will possibly cause an issue. So let's keep that. I think I must have been looking at the FPS temperatures. I was like, oh my goodness, that was going pretty high. So we're at 64, which is perfectly fine. We're in good range, especially being that this is a pretty good load. So yeah, it should be able to stress it out pretty good. Right now we have our minimum, which is 31.4, which means basically at some point this the frames per second had dropped to about 31 FPS at one point, so it's not too bad. I've seen a lot of bad dips, and you know, having something at a playable range for the dip is not that bad, because you could see it get to 1 FPS depending on the system that you have. So this is good. This is pretty good. Still playable throughout. Visually, it looks pretty good. It's got a lot of good stuff going on. It's pretty solid. I have no issue. I think we picked up a pretty good system. I think we put a lot together, but I think at the end of the day, it's the system's good enough and can do the job. But what we're gonna do now, I think we're gonna escape. Okay, and quit out. Okay. We may have left a little too early, I don't remember. That's all good. But you guys could see kind of what we were getting. Which is good. 31 minimum. I think it was 82 average. We can go over that a little bit. So yeah, there was Heaven Bench. That worked pretty good. Now, let's run Rocket League. I need my CPU mark. My fraps going. Here are definitely, yeah, we're at 720. I could tell something's weird. We're gonna push that to 1920 by 1080. This should be playing at 1080 for sure. VSync, high quality should be fine. I think everything should be good. Alright, so now we look regular. We're gonna hit the field. We're playing offline just because we're just gonna go through a little bit just to show you guys. It plays, it runs, it's good to go. We gotta go for rookie. We'll go rookie, but we could do better than that. I haven't played in a couple months. Let's get it. Okay. Alright, so we're at pretty steady 60, if not 59. That's not bad. Okay. Let's get that. Is that the first one of the game? Oh shit. Damn. Let's get that out the way. Maybe I'll do a little stream tonight of this too. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Let's get it. Oh, I was hoping it wouldn't go that way. Yeah, the rookies are beating me. It's never good. Never good. Alright. Come on. Oh, man. Alright, so we're still pushing. Damn. Tough competition, guys. Tough competition. Okay. Kind of afraid to go toward the goal. There we go. Alright, so we got a goal. You guys can see this plays fairly well. Might be frame capped, I'm not sure, but everything's solid, runs, and that's really what these benchmarks are about, just to make sure everything works. And yeah, this is a good runner, good game, very popular. Um, but we'll keep moving forward and continue. Okay. Um, Next up, we're gonna do Fallout New Vegas, one of my favorites, a game I always come back to. We're gonna see what kind of updates we need to get for it. I know I said it's one of my favorites, and I don't have it updated. It is, or at least it should be updated on my actual computer. Alright, so we gotta update. Gotta download. Looks like we're downloading DirectX. Pretty common. Okay. Can now detect your video hardware. Okay. Ultra high quality. There we go. I don't know if there's audio, so I haven't really thought about that one. I'm going to turn the audio down because we don't really need that. Hopefully there's not. I think we're good to do Ultra. I think we're good to do all that. We can even pop Bloom on. Um, yeah, no, I don't like that resolution, whatever that is. Okay. Alright, we should be good. Let's get it. I think it can handle it. Should be fine. I've had cards 10 years older than this one, and that would still perform and play this game, which is crazy. Okay, let's go to continue. See where I'm at. That load screen wasn't looking too good. Oh, there we go. All right, let's get it, guys. Think we're gonna find an enemy around here? Looks like it's adding all my DLC. All right, so we're at Gun Runners. That's a lot of DLC. Good news. I mean, we're getting 60 FPS on Ultra. Things are looking pretty good. Let me see. Yeah, absolutely playable. It's an older game, older title, so kind of is what it is. I think we do have an enemy, and just hope it's not we get like a friggin' death claw or something. All right. Oh yeah, we got him. He's got him. Come on, poor Radiscorpion. That was supposed to be my job right there. All right. We'll see if we can find another Radiscorpion. This way we could, you know, benchmark it a little bit. Have us perform a little bit of movement. See, we got the jumps. Jumps, not a single drop. Pretty solid. Gameplay's great. I mean, I've had so many cards play this game great. It's just a very, in my opinion, very well playing game. All right, he crept up on me. I forget I had teammates. Yeah, it's been a minute. Okay, so there's something straight ahead that we do not see yet. What is it? Probably ants. I think it's the ants, yep. Okay. Shit, my bad, guys. There we go. We got one. There we go. We even got not an achievement, but a add-on. Bug Stomper. I guess that is an achievement, yeah. Okay. Got a little bit of blood and gore, so there's probably a lot more. See what other weapons I have. I don't have any hotkeyed yet, so that's weird. I must not have played that much. Usually I have everything hotkeyed. No ammunition? Oh, here we go. Alright. Okay. There we go. So, we're working. We seem to be doing pretty good. There are certain creatures in this game that are pretty difficult. These ones seem pretty easy. Alright. So as you guys can see, we got a little sandstorm. We are running it pretty well. No issues. GTX 1650 does its job. Performs great. And just playing the game on Ultra. So this is one of the games that I would mainly play. Oh, so fire ant got him. So yeah, game works. Gonna exit this game. We're gonna get on to the next one. All right, so we got Rocket League, we got Fallout New Vegas. Now there's two more. I want to play through tabs before I do Bioshock. Bioshock's one of my favorite. I would say over Fallout New Vegas, but I've probably had more time playing New Vegas because it is a story-based RPG. Okay. I'm going to do keyboard and mouse for this one. Try to get this mouse out the way so I don't look at that one. Alright. We'll do sandbox. We'll go tribal. Alright, so this game basically it is totally accurate battle simulator. You're simulating battles. It's actually pretty interesting when it comes down to it. There's probably some truth in some of this, not really. But like I like to make a line of musketeers. Yeah, I like to form a line, and then from there, uh, we want to kind of make it even. So let's say I put two Reapers. Do I think they're gonna take them out? Maybe. And they have another 250. I want to make it even in budget. This way, it's an even matchup. But even then, there is no with this game. There's no really even matchups. Oh shit! It's hard to have an even matchup. It really is because certain characters like the Reaper, kind of OP. Um, yeah, so the Reaper's a little OP, so that won't. It's not gonna measure up correctly. I don't believe. But let's put one of these and then drop 50 on a halfling. Alright. So can our, what is that, 17 guys take out two Reapers and a halfling and another guy? We're getting plenty of FPS. This game's running great. Let me see. Any of our guys still alive? No. Okay. So we were taken out. But I got an idea. Alright. They're not even moving. They should be moving. So my idea is, it looks like they got one of the Reapers. If they were to move on me, I think they'd be fine. But they're not. We got them. So that was it. So the only thing we did differently, for one, they killed who they needed to kill initially. And two, I moved a little bit out of the way to hopefully distract or, make some space. They should be all making space. Right now, I don't think we got this. I'm going to keep moving, though. I'm actually going to run. I'm going to run. Alright. Keep running, keep running, keep running. Alright, where is he? Got him. Boom. That's it. Same budget. The Musketeers could do the job if they're doing well. We'll do one more. I think for this one, we're gonna make it a little more heavy. You're gonna see maybe a little bogging of the graphics card. Let's see what we got. All right, you ready for this? We want our chariots in the front. Chariots in the front. All right. Let's put a couple super boxers. This is gonna be a fun one. Couple elephants. Couple elephants. This is gonna be a mess. Um, where's our Reaper? Hmm. No, I guess spooky. Yeah, here it is, spooky. Okay, get a couple of these guys, a couple of these guys. Now we're talking. We're making a little bit of a FPS. Probably gonna go down a little bit. I got one more. Actually, I got two more. High watches. Okay, high watches, and Da Vinci's tank. If I could find it. Where's Da Vinci's tank? Maybe in. I should know by now. I've played enough. Where is Da Vinci's tank? Alright, so it's not there. It's not here. We have a regular tank. Where are you? There we go. Okay. Now, to top it off, we'll do three Da Vinci's tanks on each side. It's not even. I'm clearly up one or two, but we're gonna see. Instead of 300 FPS, we're gonna have a little bit of an issue. 30 FPS, 10 FPS. This would probably break a lot of games, to be fair. There's a lot going on here. There we go. So we're stressing that GPU now. It's got a lot going on here. Alright, watches putting that work in. There we go. You see, initially we had some issues rendering a lot of what was going on. So you see, even there's just certain games that just put a little bit more pressure on the graphics when it's overloaded, and this is definitely one of those. You can really overload it. Look at all that. There's a lot going on. Very interesting, though. We're going to get on to the next game. Pretty cool. Definitely pretty cool. It's always one of my benchmarks. Some I enjoy, tabs. Some a little newer that I've gotten into, though. Alright, so we are downloading our V credits. Except DirectX. It's probably going to download a couple of the DirectX. It looks like DirectX runtime, so it's a couple, probably DirectX 8, DirectX 9, 10, 11. Okay. Let's see. This will be one of our last benchmarks, but I think this is running in 720 also. You can kind of see when it goes from your regular screen, sometimes it'll shrink it and then it'll put the game on. That's kind of where you could tell it might be playing in 720. Also, like our letters on the top left, usually a little smaller, a little larger, I should say. So let's see. Can't really tell yet, but yeah, it's at 768. So you can tell once you jump that the numbers on the top left should get smaller. Okay, that's a widescreen. Windowed mode off. Okay. Hmm. Where are we? I guess we're going to widescreen. Well, there it is. No, that's 1440. 1920 by 1080. There we go. Okay. Do I like all these? Global lighting. DirectX 10 is what we're using. Um, Real-time reflection, high detail shaders, shadow map, vertical VSync, I should say. Alright, so everything's set to high. Keep this resolution. Yes, and you see that the numbers on the top left, or possibly your top right, have gotten smaller. That means the resolution increased. Okay. Do I have a save? I don't believe I do. So we're going to do it up. We're going to start fresh. New to shooters. 20 plus, probably 23 years new. Now, I played this on the 360. I always tell this story, or at least I think I do. First time playing it, we got it from Blockbuster as a kid, but it was, to this day, still one of my favorite games. Um, yeah, it was just one of the best games I've ever played, probably, and one of the most frightening, other than maybe Dead Space. I think Dead Space was up there on the frightening scale. If you guys haven't played it already, this won't be much of a spoiler, but maybe check it out, go play it, see what it's like. Surprisingly, came out in '08, but it had some of the best graphics, even in my mind, to this day, which is pretty crazy. They just released, or at least they released it a couple years ago, I think, the Ultimate Edition or the Enhanced Edition, whatever they call it. Graphics are a little bit better. They figured out a way to make them even better. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. This one is just the plain Jane model, the original version, not the upgraded graphics, because if I wanted the additional upgraded graphics, I would have to take a little bit more time to download that one as well. And we took 6 hours to download whatever we need to for this computer, which just felt like a lot. So, there we go. Look at them graphics, though. You're tripping. 2008 graphics. Let's go. We gotta go back. Look at that. Look at the freaking textures. I know it's dark, but you do what you can do. What you gotta do. Here we go. Damn, look at that lighting. Oh, and the smoke. The reflections. Come on. Solid. There we go. Same thing. Perfect. The lighting, the reflections, everything. The smoke, whatever the smoke has come from, I'm not sure, but there we go. Look at that smoke coming in there like it's never been open before. Alright, I'm gonna pull the lever. Yeah, we're playing at a perfect 60 FPS locked. Just where we want to be. Probably I think the 360 was locked at 30 FPS, so this is double the frame rate. Hopefully we can get into a little actual gameplay. This is kind of just the beginning, but once you get more in deep, you're going to be doing a lot more action, having a lot more boss fights and all that. Let's see. Okay, here we go. We're going through Atlas. I still wish they never brought it to the sky. It's just Bioshock hasn't been the same since, in my opinion. If they would have just kept it underwater, I would have been buying Bioshock 3. It would have been great. Still bought Infinite, but it just felt like a different game for me. I don't know. Storyline probably matched up somehow, but I don't know. I couldn't put it together really. They wanted to bring Atlas up in the sky, but why not just keep it down here? I'm sure there's reasons why, but you know. Look at this. We got the whale wash right there. We are going up. Okay. Now loading into the section. It's definitely an interesting concept, though. I've never read the book, so I have no idea what the book's about. But game, freaking solid. There we go. Best scene in the game. There's a lot of good scenes, but this is just one of them that tops the cake. A little fear warning. Just be careful. It might be a little on the scary side if you haven't seen it already. The Splicer goes crazy. This is just the beginning, so it's definitely not a huge spoiler if you haven't played it already. Usually there'd be audio too, but here we're gonna have some background music, and that's about it. Oh, here we go. Okay. If there's any cues from the radio, I won't even hear it. So I didn't set up the audio for it. That would suck. There we go. Oof. Ooh, it's trying to restart on me. Do not restart. Now, the splice is going on top of our little submarine thing, little pod. He's trying to rip it open from the top up. Alright. Now, for me, it's like, I'll just wait in the pod for a long time. I'll just sit in the pod. But no. No, we're gonna walk out. It just doesn't seem like the best idea, in my opinion. Maybe, wait an hour. Alright, so they're gonna open up the pot for us, I'm pretty sure. Unless we just open this, I don't know. That's speed dial, pretty sure. Okay. Alright, so they're opening it up for us. Here we go. Now we can get into the action. There we go. Look at that. Not perfect, but leaves a lot to the imagination too, which is kind of cool. Look at the lights as you walk through. Very creative. They didn't. I mean, some games had some good graphics, but this is one of the ones that really used what they had. And it can be dark. Like, you could have dark games. Not all of the games that we make or that the developers make have to be super bright. We could keep them dark. Oh, wait, this is fine. Is it a little like a darker game? Maybe, but they don't all have to be crazy ray traced, bright games. We want nice visuals. Ooh, almost had me. Pretty sure I was supposed to go through there. Could be wrong. Okay, maybe I was supposed to go through there. I was. That's just weird. All right. All right. So my goal is to put that work in. Still doing the full out benchmark, so we're gonna see how well everything's looking. You see the fire there, running really good. We don't see any drops under 60. Just great. Eating our pep bar. I think I'll get us to the tunnel scene so you can see how that looks too. Again, it's not the best to be benching with these old games. Maybe, we should try some newer games to be fair, but we got Rocket League and Tabs is pretty new, but it's not a heavy game. So, but I'm just looking at like what would we normally play. There we go. All right, so we're gonna put this in. Okay. Let's see if my controller is gonna work because I don't know the keyboard for this one. Keyboard controls. Chip. Guess who that is? In the house. Alrighty, guys. So I think we're gonna call it here. As you guys can tell, We were able to kind of benchmark a few things and kind of figure out. Let's see where I want this at. But we were able to kind of figure out a few things and you know walk through some of the building process for the computer. Yeah, it wasn't everything. I mean, it was a $20 rig from Savers that we put together, and then we did have to add and we did have to spend a little bit to get it to go. Of course, I mean the graphics card. Don't get me wrong, I didn't find it inside of Savers, so that's something I had to purchase. I purchased previously, which I already had, which was nice. Um, we had the SSD we installed the RAM. We installed a couple things in there, and we did have to put the faceplate back on. You can see how I kind of went about doing it. The faceplate wasn't great, but I think it's gonna do the job. I think it's perfectly fine for what it is, and it's still a very nice looking computer for the amount that we put it together for. So thanks again for watching, guys. If you guys want to see me and James compete for the most amount of subs, and just overall, our competition is more or less for what we could put out, how good we can make our channels. It's a friendly competition. We want the best for both of our channels. He is technically the host. He also hosts AWM Studios, so we're gonna work together and make these channels just make them better overall. I mean, I'm glad everybody's watching and actually staying engaged with us. We have a lot of time, we have good times putting these videos together, and I want to push him to do his best as well. So I thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my buddy at AWM Studios, James. Subscribe to All Wrestling Madness, Sean from All Wrestling Madness. And yeah, thanks again, guys. I will talk to you guys soon. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video with a little bit of the building and do what we can. Thanks again, guys. All right, so I mean, we could set the RAM speeds. Oh, fucking bitch. Okay. hmm Operating system download. How the fuck, man? I mean, these computers just ain't right. Nothing. F12 or delete. Let me see. So I put directly boot to this drive. There we go. What are we doing? Piece of shit. Alright. So we're gonna go back to what we were doing. This sucks. Advanced. Okay. Man. Alright. So, well, somehow we made it. I still didn't like that in general, but alright. So we are going on. This is probably going to be a 5-hour episode. This is crazy. Probably longer than that, to be honest. Um, fuck, man, fuck. At the point where I'm fucking cooked. Oh man. and what happened? Screenshot? Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright, so we got our P and Y. Try disconnecting any that don't contain an operating system. Motherfucker. I want to kick his ass. Kick an ass. Motherfucker. How the fuck? How does it not contain an operating system if we just fucking turned it over?